So you finally got your Amazon account set up, you got your profitable product, you sent that into your Amazon fulfillment center, but you're struggling to get sales and you don't know why. Well, the answer to that is because you're not winning the buy box. Your buy box percentage might be actually very low, and that's the reason why you do not get any sales. So in this video, I will break down exactly all the criteria that you need in order to win the buy box and maintain it. So let's get right into it. So not a lot of people actually fully understand how the buy box works when it comes to selling on Amazon. But in this video, I will break down the exact things that you should look for and that Amazon looks for and how you can improve and increase that in order to generate more sales. You know, here's a screenshot of my sales in the last 7 days. Here we see I've done over $63,000 in sales. For the day, I did about 8,200 sales. And, you know, I've done over $4 million in lifetime sales on Amazon. I've made a lot of mistakes along the way. But ultimately, I figured it out and, you know, I just kept learning. I also run a mentorship program where I help students, you know, achieve the same results that I've done, right? The goal is to get you to $10,000 in 60 days or less. And all the strategies that I talk about within my program, I implement in my Amazon business on a day-to-day basis. So here's actually a quick refresh. The video might be a little bit inverted, but for those of you guys that are saying it's fake, that's my Amazon store. You can also follow me on Instagram. I don't have that many followers, so I want to, you know, plug it to get more followers, but I try to post every single day, whether it be, you know, my sales, shipments, or just sharing any tips that I have for Amazon. So, you know, if you still don't believe me, just follow my Instagram, check out all my stories, and hopefully that will help build credibility. Here is my current buy box percentage. I do sell on 2 marketplaces. I do not sell in Mexico, but I only sell in Canada and US. So here in the US, we see in the last 30 days, the average buy box percentage, or my average buy box percentage, is about 28%. The last 2 days, it's about 21%. So that dropped a little bit, but that's totally normal. But on Canada, we see I'm at 12%, and in the last 2 days is 4%. So I'm definitely experiencing both sides of things. Obviously 99% of my sales come from US, and I really focus much of my time on this marketplace. But with Canada, only like 1% of my sales. And honestly, I never really check it. I spend like 5 minutes every week on it, and I just don't care too much about it. But this is just for transparency, so you guys understand that even a seller at my size, I experience these problems. But in the next slides, I will talk about how you can improve it and what you can do. So the question that a lot of you guys might be asking is, what is a good buy box percentage? And the answer to that would be over 15%. Generally, I'd say anything over 15% is good. From 10 to 15, that's like average, but you could definitely improve on that. It's very easy to improve. And anything under 10%, you know, you just either don't care about your sales or you're just not focusing enough time. But for the most part, for the average seller, you know, I think they hover around 10 to 15. And if you follow all of these steps, you will definitely be 15% plus, and anything over 20% is amazing. I typically hover around 25 to 30%, just for reference. So the first key metric towards improving your buy box percentage is pricing. Obviously, this is kind of a no-brainer, and you want to have competitive pricing. So what can you do to improve it? So the first tip to improve is price competitively. The second is to reprice, and the third will be to have a strict buying criteria. So when it comes to pricing competitively, I'm not telling you guys to tank the price. Do not tank the price. But obviously, you should match the price or be within a 10% variance of the current buy box price. So if the current buy box of an item is $20, you want to be between $18 and $22. Usually you don't want to be under, you want to either match it or be maybe like a couple cents over, because you would be very competitive. But if the buy box at $20 and you're selling an item at $27, your likelihood of getting buy box is slim to none. Obviously it's possible, but it's very, very unlikely. So just stay competitive to the buy box, match it or be, you know, a couple cents over, but don't keep tanking your price. The second thing would be to reprice. So what repricing is, there are softwares like repricers. I use SellerSnap, but that's a little bit pricey, and that's for more established sellers. But when it comes to repricing, You just want to always go into your seller central and go under inventory and look at the current price and just match it. So, that ties into the first point of pricing competitively. If you reprice, that just means the price changes over time. The price might go down or the price might go up of your listing. And if you don't pay attention, your price will become uncompetitive, if that makes sense. And the third would be to have a strict buying criteria. So because, Amazon is a marketplace and the price of items go up and down on an hourly basis, you want to have a strict buying criteria. So for me, I look and I only purchase items at a 30% ROI. And that's more than enough room, to prevent from the price going down. And if the price goes up, even better. But just having a strict buying criteria gives you more wiggle room when it comes to, having a competitive price and ultimately winning the buy box. And the second one would be fulfillment method. So the tip that you want to improve would be, number one, to prioritize FBA over FBM. And number two, if you do choose FBM, to have 1-day shipping. So the reason why I say to prioritize FBA, which might sound misleading because I know, you can make a lot of money with FBM, but ultimately Amazon prioritizes FBA because it's quicker. As an FBM seller, if you're an FBM seller, you just simply cannot compete in terms of shipping time and satisfaction, overall customer satisfaction towards a seller who's selling via FBA. And ultimately, Amazon is a business. They really care about customer satisfaction and shipping speed because that's how they really built the business. If you sell a lot of FBA, your likelihood of winning buy box is very likely over a seller who's doing FBM. If you ever sold an FBM listing on a listing full of other FBA sellers, you probably had a hard time getting buy box. And that's the main reason for that, just shipping speed in general. If you do choose to FBM for whatever reason, there's some items that are just better, that makes more sense, or, certain periods during the year, such as Q4, when you're struggling to stay in stock, you want to FBM, do 1-day shipping time. Obviously, there's different shipping times, like 2-day shipping time, but the best option is to either do same day or 1 day, just to reduce that shipping speed and help you get buy box. So the next one would be performance metrics and health score. And the tips to improve would be to avoid policy violations and to check your emails frequently, right? It's kind of a no-brainer, but essentially, if your account has a lot of violations, like inauthentic claims, your ability to win buy box will be lowered just because your overall health score, the highest you can have is 1,000, by the way. It goes up with every 4 completed sales. So just as reference, but with health score, it kind of tells Amazon whether or not you're a good seller and whether or not you follow all the policies. If you break a lot of policies, your seller score will go down and your likelihood of getting suspended or getting kicked out the platform as a whole is higher. So just avoid policy violations, follow all the rules, go through the Amazon terms of services just to ensure whatever you're doing on a day-to-day basis fits what Amazon wants you to do. And the second thing is to check your emails frequently. So, just make sure, because even though you may follow all of the terms and services, sometimes Amazon will still give you some violations. And when you get that, you want to respond to it as soon as possible, preferably within the first 2 hours. But ultimately, if you never did anything wrong and you have all your invoices, all your receipts, then you will always be able to appeal the case and win, and you will be fine. But just check your emails frequently, have notifications turned on for your main email that's associated to Amazon seller account. I have mine turned on and I check it a lot. I check all the refunds, I check everything, because at the end of the day, this is a business and you want to be on top of everything. Moving on, the next would be store rating and feedback. So some tips to improve is, number one, have QA inspection checks. Number two, have the product matching, the listing description. And number three would be a fast customer response time. So number one being quality assurance inspection checks. So when you purchase an item and it arrives at your house or your warehouse or your prep center, just make sure the item isn't stained, the item is in brand new condition. And by doing that, you will reduce the likelihood of breaking any policy violations, going back to, last slide. So make sure the item is good. And by doing that, you will also reduce your return rate. Number two would be having the product matching the description. Along with that, make sure that the product that you're purchasing, whether it be, the volume of it,
the sizing of it. Make sure everything matches the Amazon listing, the description, the bullet points, everything. The brand is the same. And by doing that, like I said, you will also avoid policy violations. And when the product sells and customers give you feedback, the rating will usually be pretty high. But yeah, so the third point would be to have quick customer response time. If you do FBM, you're going to deal with customers messaging you. So just respond within 24 hours, preferably respond within 12 hours, within the first 12 hours. Overall, with the feedback, this takes time. You just have to sell a lot and your feedback and your ratings will go up with it. So don't stress too much about it. It's not too big of a deal, but do what you can to have a great account rating. The next would be stock level. And your tip to improve is just to focus on, stock levels. It's very self-explanatory. So Amazon prioritizes giving buy box to sellers who have more in stock. Like I said, this is not a very big factor when it comes to winning buy box, but it does come into play sometimes. And the logic around that is obviously Amazon would give buy box to a seller who has 300 units of something listed for sale rather than a seller who only has 5. And the reason for that is because the seller with 200 units, they can sell for longer and a much more consistent basis over a seller who just comes and goes on the listing. But it's not super important. I understand if you're an arbitrage seller, you're not going to have a lot in stock. But if you're a wholesale seller, focus on staying in stock because that's also beneficial towards your sale. Because if you're out of stock, then you're just losing sales. But yeah, focus on that and just always check your seller central, check your seller board, check your repricer, make sure that you're buying maybe 2 to 3 weeks worth of inventory ahead of time. So you're always in stock and your likelihood of winning buy box is as high as possible. So those are just a couple elements or the couple factors that come into play when it comes to winning buy box. Overall, my final thoughts is a lot of sellers don't really understand how the buy box fully works. And hopefully in this video, I broke down exactly what you can do to improve. And if your buy box is low, just focus on, the tips that I provided you, and you will definitely see an increase in buy box percentage in the next day. This is things that you can implement very, very quickly. And actually you can implement it instantly and you will see results within the next couple hours actually. But yeah, a lot of your sales do come from buy box. 95% of all your sales will come from you winning buy box. So if you're struggling to win buy box, your sales might be lacking a little bit, and that would be probably the reason. So, within my business, every single day, I focus on maintaining a strong buy box percentage of over 20%. I hope this video really helped. And if it did, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe. Comment below if you have any questions. If you would also like to book a call for my mentorship program, there's a link in the description below where you can book that call, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.